Okay, so this will be a part also of your prelims. So your prelim exam will be starting on the 28th until March. I mean, what March? March 5? Ay, 4, yeah. 28 to 4. And then, ayun. So guys, babalaan ko na kayo ha. I mean, sasabihan. Kasi the face-to-face of your kuyas and ates will start at March 7. So, there will be changes in the schedule on March 7 because we will be going to the campus uh, once 1 week, and then we will not be meeting them for 2 weeks. Bali, parang yun yung maging quarantine period. Since that, parang yung schedules nila is, parang kunin na namin yung 3-week worth ng schedules nila. So, bali, like, we'll be meeting for 5 hours every day. Parang ganong level yung mangyayari for them. I still don't know what will happen with our schedule, this one and the other one, when that happens. Kasi nakita ko nga dun sa schedule na parang masasagasaan kayo. So, ayun, yun lang. I'll update you with what will happen. So, maybe next week or tomorrow, kasi tomorrow na yung orientation ng mga kuya nyo. Sad to say, you will still not have your face-to-face classes because I think programming 2 lang kasi yung laboratory subject nyo, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know if Sir Roger asked you if you want to and you said no. But I remembered like they just asked the second years and the third years to answer the yung form. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so anyway, with that, let's proceed to our next topic. So we have discussed the human part of HCI, and then of course today we'll be discussing the computer part. So di ba we have 3, the human, the computer, and the interaction. So we'll be tackling the second part, which is computer. Okay, wait lang. I'm just fixing my... Ayan, okay na. And then, okay. Okay, so today we will be discussing computers. Basically, have already discussed parts of this during your, what's that? CC 101, ICC 101 siguro, yung IT fundamentals. So, we'll be just making pasada to these things, and I hope that you can catch up. If you have questions, feel free to interrupt me at any time possible. If I'm getting fast, just tell me and then we can adjust. Okay, so today, the computer. Hello, a computer is made up of various elements. So you have your input devices, your output devices. You also have VR, or what we call virtual reality, physical interactions such as sound, haptic, and biosensing. We have paper as output and input, or pwede siyang output, pwede siyang input. We also have our memory, and we also have our processing. So to understand HCI, of course, we need to understand computers. So what goes in and what goes out. So as we all know, we have what we call our inputs and we also have our output. And sa gitna nun, we have what we call processing. So may ipapasok, may lalabas, at may ginagawa bago may lumabas, of course. Okay, so you have your devices, your paper, sensors, etc. What can it do? The processing. So you have the memory, processing, and the networks. Okay. So typical computer setup. Of course, you have your screen or the monitor. They have windows. You have your keyboard, or you have your mouse, or you have trackpads for computers, for laptops. We also have different variations of a computer. So we have the desktop, the laptop, and the PDA. PDAs are not really widely used right now, but it's a personal digital, what I forgot the meaning of PDA. Anyway, public display of affection, charis. Okay, so the device dictates the style of interaction that the system supports. So if we use different devices, and the interface will support a different style of interaction. So if we are using the PC or your typical desktop, napapansin nyo na iba yung interaction when you're using a PC or a desktop or you're using a laptop. Of course, first of all is kapag nasa laptop ka, you have your external mouse, or you use a wireless mouse, or you just make use of the trackpad that is, or the touchpad that is available on your laptop. So on your desktops naman, you also have your wireless mouse or your wireless keyboard, but basically you cannot use it without those things. You have your wired keyboard, wired mouse, ganyan. So you can also have like a built-in speaker for your laptop, and maybe you don't have a built-in speaker for your desktop, ganyan. Okay, so for PDA devices, you can also have, maybe we can think of it as our phones, since phones are really, they call this high-tech right now, that they can actually they can actually do what the computers can do. If you're if you have a Samsung Galaxy phone, sorry, that's my example because I'm not using an iPhone or what. If you're using a Galaxy phone, you have what they call Samsung Dex, and you can just simply connect your phone to a monitor or to a screen like a TV or what, and then you can use it as your own desktop. So, pwede mo siyang gamitin na pang browse, pang word processing, ganyan, etc. Without actually having your own CPU, you can just use your phone through Samsung Dex. Ayan. I don't know if Apples or iPhones have the same feature, or other phones as well have the same feature like that. Ayan. So I'll make a research on that. Anyway, so as I said, if we use a different device, and the interface will support a different style of interaction. So especially in our websites, we have different websites that we use every day, or different apps that we use every day. The layout of Facebook is not the same with the browser, or with its Facebook app, or ano ba ta? Or kapag sa phone mo siya gagamitin. So there are things that are only available in desktop mode, and there are also things that are only available in mobile mode. Okay. So next thing is, kayo guys, of course, how many computers that you have in your house? So, ayan. I think everyone has his own computers in their house because we're actually having online classes right now, di ba? Then we also have your computers in your pocket. We have your phones for those who have their own smartwatches. Kung kumpleto setup kayo ng phone, iPad, or any tablets. And ano pa? Yung mga gaming consoles, ganyan. They're also considered computers because they have their own processing units. Ayan. Okay, so next. Okay, so this one you have in your house. So you have your PC, you have your TV, DVD, ganyan. VCR. Sino pang may VCR dito? Alam niyo, guys, I know you're kids, pero naabutan niyo ba kung ano yung VCR? Anyone? Hoy, alam niyo ba kung ano yung VCR? Hala? Chismis.
Meron kaming ganyan nun.
May VCR kayo?
Ma'am, Betamax.
Ayun, Betamax, VCR. Edison, meron pa kayo ngayon?
Wala na, ma'am. Hindi ko alam kung tininda na ata nila, ma'am.
Oh, Earl, meron pa kayo? As in ngayon, nakikita mo pa siya?
Meron, ma'am. Andito, kaso hindi na nagana.
Hindi na nagana. Shit, bibilhin ko sana.
Ay,
Hindi ako nagbibiro. Kapag meron kayong mga doon, pero ang pinakahinahanap ko ngayon are film cameras. So baka, nag-segue, baka meron kayong mga film camera dyan, sabihan niyo ako, tignan natin kung gumagana pa. Tapos bibilhin ko. Hindi ako nagbibiro,
Meron kami, ma'am.
Sino yun? Totoo?
Same.
Sige.
Ano?
Ano?
Naghahanap din ako ng film na yun eh.
Ay, ang dami ko, mag-usap tayo mamaya. Okay, gusap tayo mamaya. Anyway, sige, ayun lang. Ayun, so you also have your microwaves, cooker, washing machine, ganyan, central heating or security system. Teka, may tanong ako, sinong may may ref dito na may TV, may screen? Oy, wala pang hardcore mayaman. Anyway, sino? Eko?
Sana all ma'am may TV yung rep.
Hindi naman siya TV na TV, pero may screen yung ref. Like, touchscreen mo siya. Touchscreen siya na i-process yung mga yung lamig niya. Kung pwede, dun na rin ginagawa yung ice, ganyan. So, may ice maker na rin yung ref. Pangarap ko yun. Pangarap ko yung ref na yun. Tapos, pangarap ko rin yung washing machine na automatic. Yung paglabas niya sa washing machine, isasampay mo na lang siya. Actually, hindi. Tutupiin mo na lang siya. Yun, yung mga pangarap ko sa buhay. So, wala naman tayo central heating siguro kasi mainit, pero yung may 10 aircon sa bahay nila, sana all. And then of course, you have your security system, mga may CCTV dyan sa mga bahay nila. Ayun, sana all. The joke. Okay, sa phone sa pockets naman, of course, PDAs, what PDAs are not widely used anymore. You have your phones, if you have your own DSLR or Digicam or GoPro, what else? Ano ba yung mga action cam, yung Google 360 camera, if you have those, then of course, you also have that. Then you have your smart cards with magnetic stripe, maybe, for those who have credit cards, debit cards, your ID that is powered by RFID. Okay, you also have your car keys if they're electronic that can also be considered as a computer. And then your flash drives, your memory cards, your hard drives, ganyan. I'm looking around my room if there are things that I still have. Merong though wala pa ako, pero pangarap ko rin siya. It cost 8,000. Yung SanDisk kasi, they release I'll let you see it. Okay. So si SanDisk kasi, nag-release siya ng SSD na external. SanDisk, SSD, external, 1 tera. I think, ito yung itsura niya. So, ganyan yung itsura niya. Ganyan lang siya kaliit na external SSD. So, it's really fast. Kasi, syempre, SSD siya, tas external, tas 1 tera na rin siya. So, ayan, ganyan lang yung size niya. It's the size of a palm. Then you can also have it as the keychain and all those stuff. You can check it out sa Lazada. Hindi ako influencer ha, pero if you have the finances to get one, instead of buying hard drives, like external hard drives, my hard drive Veritas is like this SanDisk, external hard drive slim. Okay. Ito. Ganito yung hard drive na ginagamit ko now. Shopee talaga. Dina-direct sa Shopee. Nakakaloka. Ayan. So, ganito yung gamit ko now, yung slim. It's 2.7 here, but kapag nagsisale to, nagiging 1.8 siya, which is a good thing. I have like 3 of them. 3 ganito ko. Tapos yung memory ko ngayon is memory really. Ayan, ganyan pa rin siya. Diba? So, I have the 2 inserted. Tapos dumudugo pa rin yung hard drive ko. Anyway, so, sobrang daming files. Ayan. Okay, proceed. Nag-end siya. Wait lang. Okay, so interactivity. So of course, when we talk about devices, we should also know the interactivity of it, kung paano siya na-integrate sa everyday life happenings natin sa, buhay, ganyan. So of course, before, we have what we call batch processing. So when we say batch processing, ito yung kapag halimbawa may data na available. So punch card stacks or large data files are prepared, so we have to long wait and then the line printer output, ganyan. One example of batch processing, guys, is when it comes to the election, before kasi, di ba, we still don't have the digital elections. Like, we just use the literal ballots and then people will be counting the, ayun, bibilangin nila yung laman ng balota, kung ilan yung boto, ganyan, which is makes it prone to cheating sa dayaan, sa eleksyon, or kapag minsan nawawala yung mga balota na, halimbawa lalo from the far-flung places, tapos biglang bumagyo or umulan, nababasa sila na nasisira yung mga balota, ganyan. So, and then bakit siya batch processing? Kasi kapag nabilang yung isa sa isang presinto, for example dito sa La Torre, ganyan, saka pa kapag na-total na nila, saka pa lang nila isa-send sa Central Comelec yung result nung balota, which is hindi siya real-time yung nangyayari. So for today, we have what we called yung sa PICOS, or doon sa digital election na ginagawa natin, though it's still batch, pero hindi na siya ganun kalala. Because, di ba, first time voters kaya pala kayo. So, ipapasubo yung machine, yung balota sa machine, and then the machine will interpret it, and then it will be saved na agad dun sa So, when the election is finished in that specific precinct, i-click-click lang ni technician na kailangan na niya i-transmit sa central office, at least doon automatically na siya matransmit papunta sa central office, hindi na siya ibibiyahe or what. Okay, so another example of batch processing before, yung enrollment process sa SMU, it's a batch processing dati na ililista lahat ng estudyante, tapos at the end of the day, saka pa lang sila i-encode isa-isa. Ayun, so for today, all technologies naman na are real-time processing, therefore, nare-refresh na agad or naipapasok na agad yung data sa kailangan niyang puntahan. So you have rapid feedback, and the user, of course, is in control and doing rather than thinking. So this is always a question, like, is faster always better? But not in maybe, but not quite. Okay. So of course, you have what we call richer interaction now. So there are sensors and devices everywhere you go. So of course, with COVID, ganyan, you have your temperature reader, digital temperature reader. That's another use of a sensor. Ayun, pagpapasok kayo sa school, you have your turnstile where you tap your ID and then it will make ikot. So that's another example of a sensor, di ba? Tapos if you are driving a car, syempre you have your sensors sa gilid, nakikita ko may malapit na mga bagay-bagay na that can bump into your car, ganyan-ganyan. What else that you need sensors? This airport, diba? You have your heat sensors naman yon, or yung mga metal detectors, ganyan-ganyan. Okay. So, next is we're going to discuss the input devices. So first is we have your text entry devices. Of course, we have the keyboards. You have different layouts of keyboards, but the most common one is the QWERTY layout, which is what we have. I think every one of us uses this uses the QWERTY layout, and we basically grown into that layout. And since it is really widely used, there are also other layouts. Dito ba? Ayan. So there are different layouts as well. They will be discussed later. There are also what we call chord keyboards, phone pads, handwriting, and speech. So the keyboard is the most common text input device and allows rapid entry of text by experienced users. So key press closes connection, causing a character code to be sent, and usually connected by cable, but it can also be wireless. Okay, so you have your standardized layout. Okay, so you have your QWERTY. Ayan, non-alphabetical alphanumeric keys are placed differently. It's not A, B, C, D, E, ganyan. Accented symbols needed for different scripts, and there are a minor difference between UK and USA keyboards. I actually saw this UK layout na keyboard before. Let's just search it. Andito na rin lang naman tayo. Okay, so UK. Okay, so yeah, this is like, they're both QWERTY layouts. Pero, ayan. Nakita. Saan yung difference? Be. Sige, open ko na. So this is the UK layout. I think yung may mga main difference nila is yung sa signs. Okay. So this is the US layout. Okay, you have your there to accommodate other words. And then the different versions of alt. This is to use these things. And then yung alt nito parang basic lang siya. Okay, tas meron din yung mga layout na ganito. Then you can also have this one. As in, there are different talaga. So, in here kasi sa Windows 10, tama, bakit nawala? Basta, meron ka makikita dito na you can actually change the layout of your built-in keyboard. Especially, I'm using my laptop. Ayan. Okay, so, alternate designs allow faster typing, but large social base of QWERTY typists produces reluctant to change. So, this is an example of a QWERTY keyboard. Ayan. So it is used ever since like typewriters to avoid jamming lalo pag mabilis ka na mag-type. Ayan. Okay, so you also have your alternative keyboard layout. So you have your alphabetic keyboard, then you have your Dvorak. Okay? So this is biased towards the right hand. Ayan. Okay, you also have your special keyboards. Okay, so this is designed to use fatigue for RSI and for one-handed use. For example, this Maltron left-handed keyboard. Okay. Medyo parang ang hirap niya gamitin, ano. Pero pag sanay ka nga naman, di ba? Okay, you also have your chord keyboards. These are used in the stenography. If you're aware of that, you can search about it. Okay, so you have 4 or 5 keys only. And then letters are typed with combination of key presses. They're compact, they're short learning, and fast. Okay, pag na-train ka, ganyan. Pag nasanay ka na. Okay, social resistance plus fatigue after extended use, and of course, it is new. So you also have your very infamous phone keyboards. Okay, so you will be using numeric keys to to type things. I hope naman na naabutan nyo pa yung mga cellphones sa ganyan. Nagka-cellphone pa naman kasi siguro ng mga ganyan, di ba? Kapag hindi kasi shocks ang babata nyo na talaga. Anyway. Okay, so we also have what we call T9 predictive entry. This is when you're using these kinds of keyboard and you're turning on the dictionary on it, and it will guess the right word by just typing typing shorter for it to guess what your word, what are you trying to type. Okay. Next thing is we have handwriting recognition. So this can be, text can be input to the computer using a pen and a tablet. Okay, so of course, technical problems, it will be capturing all useful information like stroke path, pressure, etc. in a natural manner. Okay, and then, of course, it will interpret individual letters and coping with different styles of handwriting. Of course, not everyone are really, parang hindi lahat adaptable sa pagsusulat ng parang handwriting. So when it comes to tablets and ganyan, kasi hindi naman tayong lahat pinagpala ng magagandang sulat, di ba? So sometimes we have these technical problems that our handwriting cannot be recognized, ganyan-ganyan. Okay, and then we also have what we call speech recognition. So this is, ayan, so yung mga problems na na-encounter natin is external noise, imprecision of pronunciation, large vocabularies, and of course different speakers. Di ba yung mga madalas na speech-driven or speech recognition softwares, they're usually trained with the native English speakers, like you have American English, you have British English, blah blah blah. And if you have a very hard Filipino accent, who's probably the application cannot understand you. Ganyan. And same with other accents, other people from other countries, especially those who are not English speakers. Of course, it's hard for them to adapt with these things. But there are also softwares naman na they are adapting with other languages, like Google Translate, ganyan. They can understand other people's accents and languages. Okay. Okay, so we have this one as well. You'll have your numeric keypads for entering numbers quickly. And as you can see here, the layout for the phone and for the calculator is different. Okay. So, ayun. Wala naman akong numpad, so it doesn't bother me that much. Actually, I don't like using numpads talaga. Naiirita ako. Kaya yung keyboard ko 60%. Okay. So that is for our data entry or text entry. Next, input devices, we have our positioning, pointing, and drawing. So we have mouse, touchpad, trackballs, joysticks, etc. We also have touchscreens and tablets, and they have eye gaze and cursors. So of course, we have our mouse, handheld pointing device, and this is very common and very easy to use. You have your planner movements, and you also have the buttons. You have 1 to 3 on the top. And then, yung mga special na sa gilid or kung ano, if you're using a gaming mouse, most probably has buttons sa gilid. It has yung pang double click agad. I think my mouse has 1, 2, 3. Then it has 2 sa gilid. Okay. Mouse reveal. Joke. Cheap lang to. A4 tech lang siya. Okay. But it's wireless, so yun. Okay, so the mouse is located on the desktop, and kapag sa desktop, di ba, of course, you need to have a physical space for it. Okay, so if you're a gamer, hindi ko sinasabi sa gamers lang to kasi di naman ako gamer, I still suffer from it. Nakakaramdam ba kayo ng fatigue sa kamay, yung masakit yung wrist nyo after using your computer for a while. Di ba meron pa yung sinasabi nila, wait, can I turn on? I can't turn on my video. I think I can hear, wait lang. Di ba talented? Nakikita nyo ako?
Yes, ma'am. Kitang-kita.
Yes, ma'am.
Di ba nagkaroon ng... May ganito kayo? Ayun, dito pala yung camera ko. Ayan, oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Ayan, yung tinatawag...
Yan, ma'am.
Gamer's wrist na tinatawag. Ito.
Carpal tunnel.
Yan, ma'am.
Yung carpal tunnel. Yung sumasakit yung bula dito hanggang dito. Tama? Ayan. So, kung meron kayo nun, tabahan na kayo. Okay? I have a friend who was, naoperahan siya ng carpal tunnel na asin ng lala. Na ang tagal niyang hindi makahawak ng computer kasi, yun nga, naoperahan yung wrist niya. Kaya, ayun. Ayan, so, yun lang, alagaan nyo rin yung mga wrist nyo kahit na adik na kayo mag-Valorant, ganyan. Huwag masyado, okay? Tapos kapag after working, huwag nyo siya agad basahin. Tapos, hilutin nyo siya every night, kahit pa paano. Or, syempre, bata pa kayo, di nyo paintay yung mga yun. Pero pag tumanda na kayo, Diyos ko, ang sakit talaga, promise. Lagi ko yung struggle every day. Also, yun. Yung movement ni mouse, like, you have your X, Y, X, Z panel, and yan. Okay. So, next thing is, okay, so you have 2 kinds of mouse. You have your mechanical mouse, and then you have your optical. But I think no one uses mechanical actually ngayon because it is powered by the ball, yung trackball na usong-uso noon. Like you can use it as an eraser, ganyan. And then now the mice, yeah, are using optical. So you have your laser light emitting diode sa loob ng mouse, sa ilalim. Okay. So they are less susceptible to dust and dirt and detects fluctuating alteration in reflected light intensity to calculate relative motions in XZ plane. Ayan. Okay, so even by foot, there are also foot mice, sorry, foot mice that are being used by feet, but they're not common, okay? So, but there are foot controls that are common. Of course, you have your car pedals, sewing machine speed controls, and organ and piano pedals. You also have your Dance Revolution pad. If you have those, or if you know those, you can actually buy your own DDR Dance Revolution pad that you can attach to your PC or to your PS when you're playing Dance Revo. For driving simulations, you can also have car pedals, ganyan. And of course, your organ or piano pedals or any music pedals. Sorry. You can actually have those. Okay, next. And we also have your touchpad. These are for laptops. Yan, stroke to move mouse pointers. You also have good acceleration settings that are important. Okay. Then trackballs. They're also dati kasi, 'di ba, you have your ball, sinabi ko may bola yung loob ng mouse. Pero di siya yung solong bola lang na pwede mo siya paikot-ikutin in order to navigate your computers. And then, of course, you have thumb wheels. You can also use this like, ito yung parang joystick din siya sa controller ng PS. Okay. Yeah, speaking of joysticks, you can also use this, and then you also have your keyboard nipple. But I think wala na masyadong laptop na reproduce dun. If you are using a Lenovo ThinkPad, it still have this keyboard nipple sa gitna. It's color red. Ayan. That you can use to navigate your screen. Of course, you also have your touch-sensitive screens, which is majority of the phones that we're using now. And then, may mga laptops din, tablets, ganyan, that are already touch screens. You also have your Surface, yung mga signages sa mall that are already touchscreen that you can use interactively. So they detect the presence of a finger or a stylus. So there are touchscreens that are being used by the finger, and there are also touchscreens that are only operated using a stylus. Ayan. Okay, so the advantages, they're fast and requires no specialized pointers, and it is good for menu selections. Disadvantage, finger can mark screen, imprecise. Pwede kapag sobrang laki ng daliri mo, natatypo kapag nagte-text ka, ganyan. Okay, we also have what we call stylus and light pen. So small pen-like pointers to draw directly on screen, maybe use touch-sensitive surfaces or magnetic detections. They are used in PDA, tablet PCs, and drawing tables. Light pen, they're using light, but they're now rarely used. Ayan. Okay. So we have digitizing tablets. So they're like mouse-like devices with crosshairs. They're used in special surfaces and they're very accurate. So these are used for digitizing maps. Okay, so you have your eye gaze. Well, we still don't have this technology available for everyone, but there are some softwares or there are some devices that are required by using this one. Then you have your cursor keys. Of course, we have the most basic, this one. Ito, inverted T, this is the most common one. And I have that, tama, wala naman akong ibang pan sa keyboard ko. Ayan. Okay, and then you have your discrete positioning controls. So you have sa PC, sa phones and TV controllers, etc. You have their cursor pads or mini joysticks. Discrete left and right, up and down, these ones, and they are used mainly for menu selections. Okay, let's proceed to the output devices. We have display devices such as screens and then and situated displays and also have digital paper. Okay, so we have your bitmap displays. Okay, yan. But of course, now we have 1080, 4K, 8K screens. We don't actually experience those anymore. Well, kapag bababa nga naman talaga yung project mo, edi magaganyan talaga. Okay, so we have resolution. Okay, so we have the number of pixels in screen. So example, this is a 720, 720p, so 1024 by 768. Then we have 240 by 400, wala na yan, mga devices na ganyan. The density of pixels, DPI, so 72 to 96. So if you're going to check your phones, kung ilang reso yung screen nyo, kung ilang pixels on screen, wait, I'll check my phone, ha. Settings. Di ko alam kung sa'yo setting ng phone ko. Ayun. Then, display. Okay, screen reso ko is HD. So, sige, pakita ko ulit sarili ko. Ayan. Okay, so, yung screen ko, ako nakikita sa camera. Ayan. So, as you can see, I have an HD Plus right here, which is I use because bilis balobat na gamit ko. So, I have 1600 by 720. Then, it also can be full HD. 24 by 1080. It's 1080p. And then, we have also 32 by 144. Of course, pag ginamit ko yan, wala pa 3 oras lobat na yung phone ko. That's why I just use HD+. Ayan. So, as you can see sa baba, it says, hey, basic visuals, lowest battery use. Ayan. So, can have this one. Pag full HD ko siya, yun yung difference is that, hey, hindi nyo makita. Hindi nyo makita. Pero anyway, basta yun. Tapos nagamit ko lang HD Plus kasi cheap ako sa battery. Kailangan kong magamit yung phone ko as in extensively throughout the day. Okay. So you have, speaking, you also have aspect ratios like 4:3 for most screens. Well, for now, all screens are in 16:9. You also have the 2:1 cinematic. For those who are creating videos, you can use the aspect ratio 2:1 for cinematic MRO. But the standard for now is 16:9. This PowerPoint right here is in 4:3, okay? Okay, so color depth, we also have black and white, the 256 from a palette, 8 bits for red, green, and blue. So we'll be discussing color, mga siguro middle of midterms. Yan. Okay, so you also have anti-aliasing na tinatawag. So you have draggies. And then, for anti-aliasing, it softens edges by using shades or line color, and it also used by text. So you have CRTs, or cathode ray tubes. These are the TVs that yung may buntot na tinatawag dati, yung malalaki. So there are stream of electrons emitted from electron gun, focuses and directed by magnetic fields, and these are used in TVs and computer monitors but not anymore. Or meron pa rin naman, may naka-CRT pa rin naman. Hindi naman natin sila inaano. Okay. So yun, may health hazard kasi CRT, kaya di na siya ginagamit. I'll just leave it here. I'll be sending naman this one to you. Okay, so health hints, do not sit too close, do not use very small fonts, ganyan. Kapag gumagamit ng CRT, take extra care if you're pregnant. Okay. So these are LCDs. They're found in PDAs, portables, and notebooks, and pwede rin sa desktop, ganyan. Digital watches, mobile phones, and yon. So how does it work? You have top plate transparent and polarized, bottom plate is reflecting, and light passes through top plate and crystal reflects back to the eye. And ayon. NB light reflected is not emitted and therefore lesser eye strain. So you also have different special displays. You have your RS random scan. So it draw the line to be displayed directly, no jaggies. And then you also have DVST, direct view storage tubes. So they are similar to random scan, but they are persistent, therefore no flicker. Can be incrementally updated, but not selectively erased. They are also used in analog storage oscilloscopes. Ayan. Then we also have for large displays, we have our plasma, video walls, projectors or projected, and then we also have back projected technology. So, ayun. Then we also have what we call the seat-weighted displays. They are displays in public places or display only, interactive that can use stylus or touch-sensitive screens. And in all cases, of course, the location matters, meaning the information or interaction is related to the location. So, yon. Syempre sa Manila, madalas marami to. Baka to yung mga mall directories are already touchscreens or they're already interactive where you can search for a specific store that you want to go and that it will show you the map going there. Ayan. So minsan, there are also information centers that already have like this big screen for you to open, ganyan. Okay. Then we also have what we call digital paper. They are thin, flexible sheets, but they are dated electronically, but they retain display. Okay, so next is we have, okay, aabot pa ba? Sige, tapusin ko dito sa VR. Okay, we have VR and 3D interactions. We have positioning, we have moving and grasping, and of course, seeing in 3D. So you have your what we call cockpit and virtual controls like steering wheel, knobs, and dials, and they're just like real. So the 3D mouse, we also have that. We also have the data glove where you can make pasok, make suot, and it can detect your finger position. We also have VR helmets, and of course we also have the whole body tracking. Okay, yan. So we also have 3D displays like desktop VR, and then you can also have seeing in 3D. So we have visions, VR helmets, and screen plus shutter spec, etc. So actually, 3D is not that rare anymore because there are TVs that has a 3D an option, and then you can just wear a 3D glasses in order to watch Avengers in 3D. Ganyan. Tapos, basically it's not for burgis anymore or for rich people. There are a lot of things or there are a lot of applications that can provide that 3D experience as we speak. Ayan. So you can use VR headsets and etc. Okay, so there are motion sicknesses that are caused by VR. Honestly speaking, ako mismo, I cannot watch 3D without, yun nga, yung nahihilo kasi ako. So, pag lilibre nila ako for 3D sa sine before this pandemic, tinatagyan ko kasi hindi ko siya nasusulit kasi nahihilo lang ako. Ayun. So kasi it has like a time delay or your depth perception is kind of ruined, being sira nga yung mata natin, ganyan. So it can cause like, basta mahirap din i-explain din kung bakit ako nahilo pag gano'n. Okay. You also have what we call simulators and VR caves. Ayan. Ayan. So I think I'll end with this one. So may bahaba-haba pa. This topic is included in your prelim exam. So yung coverage natin will be human and computer, bale, for the prelim exam. Maybe I'll just record the remaining slides.